Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets, and today we're going to be talking about the fact that Wedge is the best little king of the stream. He's so soft and fluffy. Anyway, I'm gonna die! Alright, so let's get back onto it. Let's talk about global news. So global news, big thing that I want to make mention for all of you people on the global side who did not watch the JP video. I'm going to make mention of this again. The fact that JP is introducing a replacement to Rainbow Rocks. Yes, you know the Rainbow Rocks that you use to awaken characters. In my previous video, I said that they were supposed to replace character shards, because to me they look more like character shards than the Rainbow Rocks, but I guess they are replacing Rainbow Rocks. Why was this not done sooner? Okay, so anyway, long story short, for all of you people who are awakening MRs and lower, may want to hold off. I'm not entirely sure that JP is giving refunds to anybody for all the Rainbow Rocks that they've spent on characters previous to this. Rainbow Rocks will essentially be used only for URs going forward, and lower tier characters will be able to use these. So that's kind of nice. Means that awakening lower tier characters should be generally easier, and Rainbow Rocks should just be used for UR characters. Alright, but enough talking about the JP side, let's talk about the global side, and starting with the fact that there are 4 new vision cards coming to global this week, and some of the more recent ones on the JP side. You guys are getting a Crystal Chronicles re-release, remaster, not a remake. Anyway, so you guys are getting that collaboration, which is fine. These vision cards don't feel incredibly impressive, I don't think. So Keepers of the Crystal, defense down, evade up, fire attack up. This is going to be essentially good if you got those fire characters, but for like a limited time vision card and not a ton of fire characters out there, and not a ton of trials where fire characters were super useful, if you're interested in Luasa, the fire gunner, who has been released more recently on the JP side, or if you are more interested potentially in getting Summer Ketone, this card might be worth picking up, but it is a limited UR, and therefore I think it's just kind of eh. Now, what you should be noticed in search of Mir? I want to say that it's like Myrrh. Anyway, Myrrh. This vision card is a MR. It is free. You get the first copy from logging in, and there are collaboration bingo cards. By doing those, you will get enough shards of this card to basically upgrade it to maximum. Bestowed effect is acquired JP up. Party effect is attack up. Just a good farm card. It is the welfare job point up farm card for a specific character. Obviously not as good as the paid one, but why would you even be surprised at this point? Alright, continuing on, we then have 2 other cards, and I'm going to start with the lower tier MR. We're going to go from high to medium and then back up to high. Alright, so Mind Flayer, Bursting Spirit. Taking a look at the card itself, magic attack up, damage limit up. Basically a damage limit up for magic characters, and the bestowed effect is good. I mean, obviously running this on a good mage when you already have the Ramu card equipped to someone else, it's going to be pretty strong. Mind Flayer himself is also a pretty good magic summon for a lower tier magic summon. He is a water-based one. He's not incredible, he's not amazing, but I definitely don't think he is a bad tier 1 if you ended up missing out on Diablos or a lot of the other high tier mage summons. This is a good one to get your hands on if you just have a mage and you don't quite have the power to measure up. And last but not least is Horn's First Division. Basically the Bull group, their kind of card. Bestowed effect is a magic attack up, and party ability is slash resistance up. This is really nice on a tank, or sorry, not a tank, but to support a tank, essentially. You have Warrior of Light or someone like that who can generate, good amount of hate, keep the targets off of your mages, and your mages can just go about their kind of business. They get, magic attack up, pair that with a party magic attack up, and baby, you got yourself a stew going. This card is pretty darn good. I like this card a lot. Artwork is solid. Just a strong card, I think. Again, is it worth going for? Depends on your team composition and whether or not you're really interested in spending the Lapis right before the half anniversary. Could be some unknown surprises in the future. Could be a brand new global exclusive. Hard to say. It's been a while since Fravia. We could see a return of Fravia. We could see a brand new global exclusive. So keep your wits about you for this fandom. Alright, so other than the collaboration, there's going to be a few other things. Story EXP up, double campaign. You're going to see some Final Fantasy not Crisis Core. I see CC and I think Crisis Core, but it's Crystal Chronicles. You're going to see those bingo board challenges coming up. There's also a new story section, Chapter 8-3, which will net you guys some good amount of Lapis for completing that chapter off. And quests coming back this week. You will see the repeat of the Admirable Prince, which is basically Zerma's event. You're going to see a couple of these repeats for a while, and then they will kind of disappear. So Gold Blade, if you're interested in that, that's a potential pickup here. Golden Axe. Again, if you are interested in those characters, Zerma particularly, probably a good time to do that. Alright, so that's basically everything there. The only thing left to talk about is the elephant in the room, or should I say the giant fire-breathing beast known as Ifrit. Ifrit is your first raid battle with a brand new feature that is considered to be quite a big step up, but definitely a luck-based one. So with the Ifrit raid, you see the introduction of rare raid bosses. Now, these are not guaranteed at this point for global, and that feature has not made its way over there, so just a heads up to that. So if you take, for instance, you basically have two outcomes every time a raid pops. More commonly, you will see Ifrit pop, a fire esper with magic attacks, whose weakness is magic attacks, but also deals magic attacks. It's fire element, so water magic is the best type. Now, take a look at characters in a second, but I do want to talk about the rare raid. Not very often, but if you are one of those lucky people, then Gold Cactar will pop. This is a earth elemental, so it is different. It is plant, it is metal. So different typing, different elements means that it is weak to a different character. So be careful which characters you bring to this. Also, because it's earth, it is kind of a little bit awkward for Frederica users, though I remember Frederica being okay. Missile attacks and magic attacks are the strongest points, so bring your mages, bring your Lucias, and just go about that. Also, it should be noted that Mustadio is probably pretty okay to bring to the raid. Alright, so getting into talking a little bit more about the characters that you can bring, let's take a look at the water section, first of all. Now, Glassy is not currently out, so you're basically Adira and Miranda are the twoest high prime characters. Christmas Ramada was a character on the JP side, but is not an available character for you globalers, so you will not be able to be using that. Miranda is actually perfectly fine. If you have Miranda with Magic Jammer open, just go, you'll be totally fine there. Adira is the prime character. She even has a support ability for herself that reduces fire damage, if I remember correctly. High power magic base attacks, Adira is by far and away the best character to bring. However, it should be noted that quite a few people on the JP side back when I was playing this raid, back in my day, Severo was a pretty good choice if you already have him built. He is a strong water mage. He's a strong mage overall. Would I consider building him just for this? Probably not. But it should be noted that he is a potentially solid character for this. And the other character I think you can potentially consider is Tyrell here. Again, if you have him built, I didn't see a ton of this character show up for me in this raid, but he wasn't necessarily terrible either the few times I did see him show up. Don't think he'll outperform the high tier ones, but generally okay. Now, talking about off-brand characters, first one I want to make mention of is Rain. Ifrit hits hard, and Ifrit hits hard AoE, and if you can have someone with hate generation that can divert a lot of Ifrit's attacks, as well as the fact that Rain has really good breaks just in his primary job, the sub part of it, and Astral Guard as well, which generates hate and magic resistance, Rain is a 100% solid pick to bring on this. He deals decent damage, and he can just be a good protector for other characters. So yeah, gonna make a recommendation of him. Not gonna recommend Medina for anyone out there. I know you guys what you guys are thinking. I already have her built. I should just bring her. I can flare. You'll get one flare off. You'll waste a lot of time, and you'll probably annoy some people. Warrior of Light is probably also a solid pick because it is a day that ends in day. Continuing on, there isn't really a ton of other characters that I particularly like for this raid. Mostly you kind of either want to go for magic or tank on this one. So it could be potential that you bring, like Ayaka is a potential pull, but I don't think you'll get a super warm welcome. Except for Ifrit. Ifrit will give you a warm. Taking a look at in terms of the Gold Cactuar, the Gold Cactuar is just not a threat because there are a good number of mages currently in the game. Bring your Medinas to that if you're super interested. Lucia is by far and away the primest of characters to bring, but again, Ayaka and whatnot should be not underestimated, or, you know, certain Earth Mage, who I can never pronounce her name, so why bother? Mustadio will be generally good. Frederica does have an elemental disadvantage, but she has a type advantage, so it's kind of a mixed bag with her. Same with Saria. So I wouldn't worry particularly about the Gold Cactuar raid, or the Gold Cactuar. Most of the time you're going to be seeing Ifrit anyway. There are people who see quite a few, but I feel like the numbers farm squeaky brakes. You're going to see mostly Ifrit and a considerable amount of Ifrit, so I wouldn't get too excited about seeing a ton of Cactuars. Unless you got that 4-leaf clover, the horseshoe up your butt. Anyway, so yeah, this is Phoebe as well. It's kind of a mage that I just didn't bring up. I think there's a lot of good options for anybody out there who is looking to tussle with the big fire-breathing lizard, but definitely Adira and Miranda are my two highest tier picks, with Rain and Warrior of Light also being really good choices for that one, with the Gold Cactuar being much more open. And a slight suggestion to all you guys who haven't watched some of my raid videos, and to be fair, there's a few I haven't posted yet, you might want to think about raid sharing. So when you get a Gold Cactuar, share with your guild members. Try and bring as many guild members as you can, but don't kill the Gold Cactuar so many people in your guild can share the reward when you beat it. It is a strategy. It is a good strategy for making your guild super happy. I definitely recommend having your own Discord so that you can organize that, but it is really, really good idea. Other than that, best of luck you guys with the Ifrit raid. It is definitely one of the raids that I think pretty fondly of in the past. I thought it was a pretty good raid. Wasn't spectacular, but it was definitely before the advent of all the status effects. So, you know, enjoy that time while you can, because that trial is coming up. You'll find out soon enough. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you next time.